Hey, so I'm just going to explain how to use the old TV preset. So once you've downloaded the files, you'll need to copy all of them, and then you need to paste them into your After Effects file. So we go After Effects, then Support Files, and then Scripts. And then you can paste them in here, or you can make a new folder and then paste them all in here. So they all need to be within the same folder. And then once that's done, you need to restart your After Effects and you'll be good to go. So I've got this footage here and we're going to apply the effect. So to do that, we go File, Scripts, then find Old TV. So before, we need to make sure that the actual clip is selected, and then File, Scripts, Old TV. And now, as you can see, the effect is on there, so it's quite resource intensive. So you can drop it down a little bit. But as you can see, the effect is running. So what it's done is there's two layers here. So the original layer is the footage layer, and this has added a load of effects to that. And the one above it is these horizontal lines that you can see. So we can just collapse these. So if we hide this overlay, you'll see it gets rid of the lines. In terms of customization, we can kind of go through and show you what everything's doing. So the shift channels is just to make sure that all the black is turned into an alpha, so it's see-through, so you can see the footage behind it. And then we have this grid. So the grid is what creates the lines. So you can play with some of these settings. If you kind of want different line spacings, things, you can play with this. If I zoom in a little bit, as you can see, as you change some of these values, you get different effects. You can change the thickness of it as well, so you can have really thin lines. So you can kind of play around with these. The noise just adds noise, so you can add and remove the noise. So the offset is the animation, so I'd probably leave that alone, and the same with the transform. Then moving on to the footage, we've got this wave warp, which creates this like horizontal break. It's easier for me to show by cranking up the values here. So if you change the height, you can see it splits the image. But we've got it quite subtle at just 10, but you can change that. You can also change the speed and the width and all those kind of settings within this one. And then we've got a glow, which adds this just kind of backlit effect. A subtle blur. And then the lens is the distortion. And then the transform I would leave alone. That just zooms in to make sure there's no cropping on the footage. So yeah, that's kind of all of the default ones. If you want to change any of the like color, you can add a Lumetri Color. And then we can start tweaking some of these options. So if it's, too vibrant, you can drop that down a bit. If you want to make it look a bit more washed out, you can bring the blacks up and, do your usual color correction here to get what you're after in terms of a look. By just playing with some of these. So yeah, that's how to use the old TV preset.